Hello guys, we're going to get right to it. Well, I just picked up Blacula on yesterday, and today we are going to be headed from Dover, Delaware to Tallahassee, Florida on our first road trip. Some of you may be wondering why I'm headed to Tallahassee so quickly. Well, I'm taking my son down to begin his master's program at Florida A&M University. Yep, that's right, Florida A&M University. Here we come. So this video is only going to cover some simple things like how much range we have getting started, how much range we get during our charge, what's the cost, the location, and how many stops. We'll be doing 975 miles straight to Tallahassee, Florida. We started our trip with 286 miles of range.
All right, guys.
Our first stop will be Stafford, Virginia. We started our charging session with 153 miles of range, and we charged for 20 minutes. As you can see, we are green lit and we are charging.
On the charge, gonna check it out. So we got right now, let's see what we got going on.
We are up to 178 miles of range after about 7 minutes of charging. It looks like we have about 12 minutes remaining before we can continue our trip. And our charge limit is set to 300. It's important to note that you may not max out your charge. It just lets you know how much you need to get to the next charging station. So while we were charging, we had a Model X come and park right beside us, aka Cool Big Brother. So Tesla supercharger etiquette 101 says don't share A and B stalls if at all possible. You should take the number not occupied for full charging speed. Well, they actually did know the rules. They were in the A side of their stall, and we were actually in the B side of ours. So looks like they've had their Tesla a lot longer than we've had ours, so they actually did know the rules. Although I wanted to believe that Blacula draws a lot of attention, that was just not the case.
I think Blacula is magnetic. That's what Blacula is magnetic.
So that was stop number 2. And we ended our session with a total of 293 miles of range and a cost of $19.24. See you in Halifax, North Carolina. So we made it to Halifax, North Carolina with 60 miles of range. I may or may not have been driving a bit fast. If you have a heavy foot, your range will surely decrease. So stay light on the pedal if you want the range to last. It's saying that we have an estimated charge time of 20 minutes. So there we go. Road trip. So we ended our charging session with 265 miles of range. We added 205 miles of range for a cost of $15.30. It is important to note that supercharging costs are not the same from state to state. Next stop, Fayetteville. Hey, check out the carbon fiber drip. So we made it to our third stop, Fayetteville, North Carolina, with 114 miles of range. Looks like we're going to need about 15 minutes of charge to make it to our next destination. Let's go. It's time for us to add some range. And remember, it doesn't get any easier than this. Point and push it in. Blue, 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 and green up right about now. Let the charge begin. All right. It looks like we got enough to go to the next spot. 242 miles of range. We plussed up 128 miles for a cost of $11.55. Let's go. Next stop, Summerton, South Carolina. See you there. Oh boy, we arrived at our fourth stop, Summerton, South Carolina, with only 48 miles of range. We used 194 miles of range, but speed hills. We were traveling at an average speed of 85 miles per hour, or maybe a little faster. So, we would end our Summerton, South Carolina session with 223 miles of range. We would plus up 175 miles in 15 minutes for a cost of $11.55. Deja vu. Again, our next stop, Hardeeville, South Carolina. Welcome to Hardeeville, South Carolina. It's our 5th stop, and we arrived with 87 miles of range. This stop is estimated to be our longest charge of the trip at 35 minutes, but we would charge a little bit longer. During this charging session, we plus up 218 miles of range for a cost of $33.75. We will then be off to Jacksonville, Florida, our final charge point before our destination of Tallahassee, Florida. Unfortunately, I didn't film the session, but you can read it in the caption. Well, there you have it, folks. Our trip from Dover, Delaware to Tallahassee, Florida. 975 miles in our Tesla Model Y, aka Blacula. I hope that this video can help you better understand what it's like taking a long trip in a Tesla. And it'll help you better understand on what to expect when you do it. Until next time, Blacula out.